We love to travel, but it can be expensive. This is Katie from Creative Travel Guide, and today we share 20 ways to save money when you travel so that you can afford more incredible trips on a budget. Looking for more travel tips? Make sure to hit subscribe and ring that notification bell. So we always recommend visiting a destination off-season whenever possible to save money on your flights and accommodation. It is also worth checking the peak season and aiming to visit in those shoulder seasons to get the best of both worlds. Cheaper rates and all of the attractions are open. Do your research for your chosen destination before you begin any trip planning. Our next tip is to fly off-peak. So aim to travel on a Tuesday or Wednesday when possible. These often work out cheaper. Browse prices on Momondo to find the cheapest day to fly to your chosen destination, then compare prices on Skyscanner for the best rates. Another way to save some money is by using budget airlines. So every country or region will have at least one budget airline that is used by the locals. Do some research to find out the best budget airline and aim to fly with this company during your travel. As a rough guide, AirAsia is the major budget airline in Asia, EasyJet is a great budget airline in Europe, FastJet and Fly Africa are good options in Africa. Jetstar and Scoot offer affordable flights in Australia and New Zealand. And then Southwest Airlines and Spirit Airlines are budget airlines in North America, while Sky Airline will get you some great deals in South America. Our next tip to save some money on your travels is to skip the souvenirs. So it sounds obvious, but many travellers will spend extra money on souvenirs. We aren't saying that you should miss out on a magnet or a postcard, but you do not need that 10th mug. So just be careful on what you're spending your money on when it comes to souvenirs. Now, we say this next tip a lot, but always eat local food in your destination to save money. This is especially true in Asia and South America, but the more local food you can stick to, the cheaper your trip will be. To save even more money, stick to street vendors where possible and use blogs to find affordable local restaurants in your destination. Our next tip is to get a travel-friendly bank card. So ATM transaction fees can seriously add up. Browse the best travel-friendly options for you and aim for cards with unlimited ATM withdrawals abroad. Many credit cards will also allow you to collect points that can be used on hotels as well as flights, while some credit cards include travel insurance and lounge access. Another way that you can save money on accommodation is by using AGODA membership. So we love booking with AGODA, especially in Asia, because they tend to have the cheapest rates in this part of the world. Whether you use AGODA, Booking.com or Expedia, sign up to an account before you book your accommodation and make use of their membership programs. We have saved money on a lot of hotel stays by being a member on AGODA. Alternatively, you could rent a home. Nothing beats having your own space when you travel. Renting a home or apartment doesn't always work out the best option, but if you are traveling as a couple or group, you can get some great deals using home rental websites. Shop around, book in advance, and make sure to stick with highly rated renters. Our next tip is to get a place with a kitchenette. Try to book a hotel or hostel with a kitchen or kitchenette. This way you can save a lot of money by stocking up on food from the local grocery store and cooking your own meals. This tip helps you save money, particularly in North America and Europe, where eating out can be expensive. Another tip you hear us saying a lot is to book in advance. Whether it is flights, accommodations, or attractions, you can save money on booking everything in advance. Gone were the days where you can get a good deal when walking into a hotel on the day to get a good rate. Stick to comparing prices online and book ahead. So now let's talk about car rentals. So some destinations in the world will require you to rent a car to truly explore somewhere. However, when possible, try to avoid car rentals to save money and instead stick to public transport. If you do intend to rent a car, compare prices on comparison websites, book in advance, and make sure to be fully insured. Our next tip is to travel slow. So flights and high-speed trains are always going to be more expensive than buses. Compare travel option prices for you, but generally, the slower you travel, the cheaper your trip. For example, in Vietnam, you could easily fly from the north to the south of the country, and budget airlines make this a cheap option too. However, if you plan on seeing destinations along the coast of Vietnam, such as Hoi An or Hue, it works out more affordable to use overnight buses or the train when traveling this route. So our next tip is to get walking. No matter where you are in the world, make sure to walk. A good rule to go by: if a journey takes 20 minutes or less, walk it. Anything over, we opt for public transport to save time and energy for sightseeing. Our next tip: don't use the minibar. When you travel, some hotels will have a fully stocked minibar, which can be tempting after a long day of sightseeing. Don't touch them and stick to picking up water and drinks from local grocery stores. And whilst we're on the subject of food, eat a big lunch. In many parts of the world, especially in Europe, you will find amazing lunch meal deals. Lunch prices are generally cheaper than dinner prices, so stick to having a big lunch and smaller dinner to save money when eating in restaurants. Another way to save money when you travel is to take advantage of the free attractions. From museums to parks, art galleries to walking tours, most major cities and towns in the world will have some free attractions to take advantage of. Research these before you visit and spend some time visiting these attractions whilst saving some money. If you Google search free walking tours and your destination, you are bound to find some free tours available during your stay. Our next tip is to choose your destination wisely. There are so many incredible places in the world, but prices do vary. For example, Southeast Asia is a super cheap area to visit, but Singapore is an expensive country in that region. Browse the cheapest destinations to visit in the world. We actually do have a video about the cheapest places in the world to visit, so make sure you check that out and plan your trip accordingly. Our next tip is to stick to a travel budget. It is so easy to overspend whilst you are travelling, but if you want to see more of the world, set yourself a daily budget and stick to it. Before going, research typical prices of your destination and work out your budget carefully. Next up, collect hotel points. So you can sign up to hotel reward cards or pick up a credit card that allows you to collect points to use on hotels or air miles. We recommend you save these hotel points and use them in more expensive destinations on your travels. Also, take advantage of airport lounges. So if you plan on traveling a lot, you can pick up a card that includes priority passes for airport lounges. There are quite a few options available, so make sure to do your research and take advantage of these rewards. Not only is this a nice treat before your flight, but most lounges include food and drink, so that you can save some money on eating in the airport lounges instead of the expensive restaurants in the airport itself. Click this video for cheap destinations in the world, have some amazing travels, and stay creative.